We've got another one here. How would you share the true gospel with someone who grew up believing a works-based gospel? Whew, that is a good question. That is a good question. How would you share a gospel, the true gospel, with someone who grew up believing a works-based gospel? I think ultimately, just to preface this, is understanding what works they think saves them. And ultimately we can bring it right back around to what did Jesus Christ do for us, and how does the thief on the cross, we spoke about this the other day, how does the thief on the cross fit your theology? Because we see something profound take place when the thief recognizes who Jesus Christ is, recognizes that he is a sinner and he deserves to be on that cross, and then looks at Jesus and says, don't forget me. Don't forget me. I know you are. Don't forget me. Ultimately, what work was he doing? We've got no evidence of him being baptized, no evidence of him speaking in tongues, no evidence of him, performing miracles or anything in the name of Jesus, other than placing his faith in what Jesus Christ has done. And it's always going to come back to this, Erica. What has Christ done for us? And when you say grew up believing in a works-based gospel, what kind of works I would ask that question. What kind of works do they think saves them? What do you have to add to that, brother?
Well, and I think I would ask too, ultimately, because there's variations of this. Some people would say, well, we're saved by grace, but then we keep our salvation by our works, which is another perversion or a form of this works-based gospel. But ultimately, again, go back to the Old Testament and typology. We look at the first human being who sinned, who was saved, and what is it that he did to earn the grace of God? So that's what grace literally means, unmerited favor. So God showed unmerited favor to Adam. Adam and Eve sinned in the garden. And what do they try to do? They tried to work to cover their own shame. They made clothing out of fig leaves as a typological picture of somebody who's trying to work to cover their own shame. Did God accept that? No. What does he do? God sacrifices an animal, so he has to shed the blood to cover Adam and Eve temporarily. And then what does he do? With his own hands, he clothes Adam and Eve as a foreshadow or a type of what Christ would ultimately do for all of us. So he sheds his own blood, the perfect sacrifice, and then he clothes us with his righteousness. So we are justified by Christ's blood. So it's through grace, or by grace through faith, not by our works. Because Paul tells us in Romans. So that's in Ephesians 2:8 and 9. But then Paul tells us